Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. Time to be first member FDIC. Josh Woodison in for Todd Marino for the rest of the morning. He'll be back with us tomorrow morning, but we are glad that we have here with us Janie McKirgan from the Jimmy Stewart Museum. Our interview with Janie presented by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Janie, good morning.
Good morning, Josh.
Oh, my gosh. This is big weekends. This is big doings now.
It's a big weekend.
Jimmy Stewart Museum's 30th anniversary weekend. Of course, the museum celebrating its anniversary on Jimmy Stewart's birthday weekend as well.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, I actually remember being downtown for the dedication ceremonies 30 years ago. I was a kid. We had, I think, a half day, or it may have been a Saturday, but I was uptown and I got to watch the ribbon cutting from that day, and that was when the ribbon was wrapped around the third floor of the library building, and Jimmy's daughters were there.
And Jimmy's daughter Kelly is coming back.
That's great news to hear. So let's talk about the current affairs at the museum. Things still going well?
Things are going well. We're putting up tomorrow our new exhibit, which is all about the P-51 Mustang, which is out at the Jimmy Stewart Airport. So we'll have a whole exhibit on that plane, which is fascinating.
Of course, Jimmy, known for his love of aviation. Mm-hmm. His service to our country was through the Army Air Corps and later the U.S. Air Force. But this side of people might not know about, Jimmy actually raced a plane.
Yeah, well, he was a partner with his good friend Joe DeBona, and Joe DeBona was the one who actually sat in the seat. Jimmy and Joe took the plane, they took parts out, made it lighter, tried to make it more streamlined, and used this plane to win the Transcontinental Bendix Trophy in 1949.
So that plane is going to be on display at the airport this weekend.
It is. I just met the pilot yesterday who also refurbished it. He has fascinating stories. Not only did Jimmy own this plane and fly it, and they won the Bendix Trophy, but also it was later sold to Jackie Cochran, who is a female pilot, the first one to break the sound barrier, and she won many international races in it. And thirdly, it was also one of two P-51s that flew the footage of the coronation of Elizabeth II across the Atlantic so we in America could see it the same day.
Oh, that is amazing. That's pretty cool stuff right there. That plane has a lot of heritage to it. And as I remember, if I remember my museum layouts correctly, I think is it the Bendix Trophy on display?
We have Jimmy Stewart's Bendix Trophy. And so yeah, it's going to be a great new exhibit. We'll have the trophy out for people to see. You can come see the plane at the airport for free and meet the pilot and talk to him on Friday from 2 to 4, on Saturday from 11 to 2, and Sunday from 1 to 3.
Now, I did want to ask, are they going to have the plane go up at the airport or maybe do a little
It will
demo?
be at the airport for maybe a few weeks, so he will be flying it. And he may be flying it this week. It depends on the weather. The weather's not looking good. But when the weather is good, he will be flying it. So fingers crossed at Mother Nature.
Yeah, Mother Nature cooperates for a change.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So on Saturday, there's always a big celebration at the museum itself. Is there going to be one this year?
They will. We've got the new exhibit debuting. We will have Harvey cookies while supplies last. We will also have Jimmy's, the service dog from Warrior Canine Connections there.
Oh, that's cool.
Kelly will meet the dog for the first time from 12 to 2. She's the one who greenlit, saying it was okay to name it after Jimmy Stewart.
Good.
So that'll be cool. She'll be introducing our matinee, which is Philadelphia Story. But at night is the program I'm really excited about.
And that's going to be at the Indiana Theater.
It is. Our resident George Bailey, Jimmy Stewart, Brian Rohan is starring in a one-man play. It's going to be fabulous. He has already filmed newsreels in black and white to be filming in between his costume changes. It's a 1-hour show. He's so good. And then afterwards, we're going to have a Q&A with Stewart's daughter, Kelly, and his niece, Sandy, and Mike Clark from WTAE will be moderating that.
Oh, that's great. And I actually did take a look at the picture that one of the pictures that he took as part of that newsreel footage. It was the night that Jimmy earned the Oscar for the Philadelphia Story.
Yes.
He actually, and Brian said that he was recruiting another person to portray, I think it was
Ginger Rogers.
And the way they were able to recreate that pose, that was good. I'm seeing the side by side. It looks great.
I know. I'm going to post it on the museum's Facebook page today, so you guys can go check it out. But it looks great. It's going to be a great show. It's only $10 in advance, $15 at the door. You can buy tickets at the museum, at the theater, at Zed's Gifts, or you can call the museum and order it online, and we'll have your tickets at will call.
And the show is called Jimmy Stewart on the Front of Life. It's going to focus, I guess, on life after World War II then.
Yes, he had just won the Oscar, went to war, he came back, and his movie contract had run out, so he was an unemployed actor and a retired pilot, and he wasn't sure what direction his life was going to go. So this is kind of the premise of the whole show.
Mm-hmm. And of course, it also makes reference to that famous cover that is a part of the Jimmy Stewart Museum, that cover of Life magazine where he's sitting atop a rooftop and the Indiana County Courthouse in the background. Of course, probably also just as famous, in my opinion, the pictures of him alongside his dad as he's fielding phone calls in the hardware store.
Well, and everyone should look up at the old courthouse or First Commonwealth Bank because the V is going up.
The V, oh my gosh, for this weekend.
Yes.
Nice indeed. Of course, that V, we referenced that. That's a good story. Maybe you better tell it. You tell it better than I would, I think.
Well, Jimmy Stewart was coming home, and Life magazine wanted to do a whole layout on his service and him returning home. So Alex Stewart, his father, being the character he is, snuck into the old courthouse, which is now First Commonwealth, and put a big lighted V for victory on the courthouse and a big sign that said, "Welcome, Jim." He got in a little bit of trouble for doing that, but years later, they found parts of the V in the basement of the bank, and they donate to the museum, so it's in the museum now.
So is it just those remnants, or is it going to be the whole thing?
No, they built a new V.
They reconstructed it.
Ours looks very small.
Oh yeah, it's just like the base of it.
Yes.
That's amazing. So the museum is still going strong after 30 years. What do you think has been the key to its success?
I would say there's two things. Maybe three. One, the movie It's a Wonderful Life, because families watch it every year. It's the one movie that keeps on giving and it's so popular. But two, his World War II career. He wasn't just a movie star. He had a lot of wonderful, heroic service during World War II as a bomber pilot. And we get a lot of veterans or people that want to know that part of his life. And three, I think people can relate to him. He was just a humble, nice, kind gentleman. He was a guy. He was a regular guy, regular Joe, essentially. He was. But it was in that he could connect with an audience through the film and do so in many different ways. Because I know that I did the research on many of the introductions that are still on file. I think over at the museum. The fact that he kind of transitioned. I mean, you saw after the war. He started taking on a little bit of a grittier, but still everyman image. I mean, films like Winchester 73, Shenandoah, another good example of it. You just saw a very different sort of everyman, but you saw still that quality, that charm that still shone through no matter what film he was in. Absolutely. He did, like Hitchcock loved him. He loved throwing an everyday man into a precarious situation. And he loved Jimmy Stewart. He did 4 films with Hitchcock. Yeah, that's right. Of course, and that's one of my personal favorites, Rear Window, right there. Yeah. So along with that, I mean, the museum is still showing matinees every day. We show matinees every day. We change up. We have a rotating exhibit gallery, and we change that 3 to 4 times a year. So that's where the plane exhibit's going to be this year, that rotating gallery. All right, excellent. And so if people want to learn more about the museum, where can they go? You can go to www.jimmy.org. That's our website. Or we've got a great Facebook page about the museum. So just look up the Jimmy Stewart Museum on Facebook. And you can find out all about it. There's so much to see there. If you haven't seen it since we redid it in 2020, it's worth a revisit. It's really different. It is very different, but still very well done up there. So let's review everything for the weekend once again, because I know Brian's going to be here later this week. Yeah, Brian's going to be here tomorrow, and the pilot for the P-51 is going to be here on Friday. Okay, so we have the P-51 out at the airport, and the public can go see that for free and meet the pilot. He's got great stories. Friday, 2 to 4, Saturday, 11 to 2, Sunday, 1 to 3, and then on Saturday night at 7:30 is the show, one-man show, Stewart on the home front, and then the Stewart Family Q&A, hosted by Mike Clark. And buy tickets or call the museum at 724-349-6112 if you need more information. And lastly, I would be remiss if not thanking two of our sponsors for the weekend, the Hilton Garden Inn and InFirst Bank.
That's excellent. All right, Janie, thank you very much for joining us on Indiana in the Morning this morning.
You're welcome.
I know that this is going to be a very successful, very eventful weekend for the museum, and I know that everybody who goes to these events are going to have a lot of fun. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Janie McKirgan with the Jimmy Stewart Museum joining us on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank, and our interviews are presented by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. It's 9:22 here on, actually 9:23 on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. And let's see if we can save you a little money this morning.
Saving you money, I'm Hillary Barsky. If you're taking money out from an ATM and it's not a machine run by your bank, you'll probably be paying more than ever before. Bank rate